Hello my friends, welcome to a deep dive on my Shoegaze tones on the HX Stomp that's down here. You can't see it. Really useful. Probably one of my favourite bits of equipment of all time. Now, you've asked to see a few tones and my process for maybe developing them. And I really appreciate you asking that. I really do. As I said on the channel before, every boy wants you to tell him that you like his tone. That's all we want to hear. I assume it's the same for everyone, but I shouldn't really assume, should I? Now, I do a lot of talking on this. I wanted to be able to talk about it, but just in case you want to just hear the tones and have a little look at how what the settings are like for them, I show them clearly on screen. I think I've put some chapter markers on, so you can just flip right past me talking. Especially if you can't understand my accent. Although I'm not talking with my usual accent, otherwise you wouldn't understand a word that I say. If I start talking about Suvalaki like this, you're not going to like it. Anyway, enjoy the video, my friends. So this is a pretty new preset that I've got going on. You can sometimes tell if they're new or not by the way that I've set the amp up, but this is how I used to set the amp up actually, and I've went back to it a little bit. I'm using a lot more parallel lines here, parallel setups rather than just in series effects setups. But quite often, and the good thing about Helix is you could just put the amp over here. See what it's like. Wildly different sounds. And I do a lot of that. You know, I might put the reverb after this just to see what that's like. That's nice. That's got like a little. This it cuts off very cleanly, but once you move the reverb to that side of the amp, it does lots of different things. What we're using Archetype Clean, the 4x12 Cali. Look at the microphone settings there. I believe the Archetype is a Line 6 original amp, but I'm not sure. I've always thought it was, but I'm kind of doubting myself on that now. There's a list of all of the what they're all based off on the Line 6 website, but I'm really bad at researching, honestly. And I believe if I'd done too much research on that, I wouldn't end up making the video anyway. So let's see. We'll start off with a non-linear, very nice reverb going into a optical trem, very old school style of trem there. Going into a Scream Ibanez clone tube screamer, going into a Ganymede reverb, which is very, look, I don't even know how I would describe that. It's a very nice reverb. What more do you want from me? My gosh. I'm going through these so you can copy the settings, by the way. So if you wanted to emulate these and you've got a Line 6 and the or any sort of Helix software, you can get in there and you can, or if you've got the pedals themselves that these are close to and you feel inspired, you can go in and have a look at it, of course. Why wouldn't you do that? Alpaca Ridge, now that is a very good distortion. That's a distortion that I want the physical model of. I want the, I would like it. It's quite expensive and I already have quite a lot of distortion, but it's the Way Huge Red Llama. Very nice. Now, one thing that I like to do, we'll show you what it's like without the distortion on, first of all. Okay, let's have a look. Lovely. I'll sit here and I'll turn things on and off all the time. What I'll also do is I'll mess around with the amp. I'll change the amp. I'll change the reverbs. I'll move the position around. Then I'll use it to maybe, when I'm making one preset, I might make 5 presets. And I'll save them as I go along. You can also save snapshots. So with the same effects, but with the dials tweaked a little bit, which is obviously very... I don't get into that much, though. I set it how I want, and then I don't like to fiddle around. I fiddle around enough as it is. But I'll show you an example of changing the amp and how much difference that can make. Now that lets me know that I've been very, very close to buying a Roland Jazz Chorus, the physical model, because I love the Jazz Rivet on here, which is a Roland Jazz Chorus clone. Beautiful. I use that a lot. It doesn't just... I found it because it's so good for clean. It's so good for clean. I like my distortion to come from my pedals. I know that's a bit of a controversial take, but who knew? Who knew? Let's see. I'm just going to show some random. I say random. Let's see some other ones that I've made recently. Now the one that I use on the channel mostly, actually. Let's have a look at that. The Teleacoustic. Deedly-dee. Let's see how. Yeah, that's about right. Very nice. I'm going to guess that that's a jazz chorus that I'm using there, or a jazz rivet as it calls. Yes, very, very nice and clean sound. You can see you're getting the feel for it now. But I have put a reverb in the middle of the Jazz Rivet 120 and the cab. We can mix up. We can mix up, my friends. Different speakers with different amps. Let's see what we've got in here. The dynamic hall mic, very dynamic. It moves around. Let's turn that up. Very, very subtle. Just that wash. It's almost like having an effects loop. Sometimes I put this on, the bubble vibrato. Lovely underwater feel. So an apt name. Lovely effect. As I say, obviously you can go through them. I'll give it a look at tremolo. You know, I love tremolo for shoegaze stuff. Probably going to get more into stereo tremolo as we go. I do have a I'll show you because it's a beautiful color. A Boss slicer tremolo, which does do stereo, but obviously the Line 6 does too. An EQ, you can tell this. I wouldn't go into the realms of EQ nowadays. Let me tell you, a red squeeze, a compressor, one of those red compressors. You know it. Very, very nice. Let's have a look. I'm surprised that I'm managing to remember to put my microphone on. This is the first time I've done this sort of video. Do give me some guidance of what you would like to hear me talk about. I know that I'm being boring, talking too much. I know that. Let's have a look at this one. I just made this earlier on, actually. Literally just before the video. Literally. A little bit of Johnny Marr sort of sounds there, and it suits the Jaguar quite well. I would imagine that you maybe agree. And now this is more of my this is more how I would set them up now. A lot of parallel stuff, as we see, and I have the amp, which what we're using, divided duo. I can never remember what that is, but as I say, I'm not very good at research. I just know them as divided duo now. Some of them are obvious. US small tweed. You can put in the comments if you know, but you can look it up on the Line 6 website. But we've got that there. We've got the microphone placement there if you want to have a look at it. Let's go through. Compulsive drive. The white drive pedal. A harmonic tremolo. JHS loves them, don't they? Going into, I love a tremolo. Dynamic ambience, so more ambient based. Well, all reverb is ambient, right? But transistor tape. Now, the wow and flutter give you the wobble, I believe. A lot of people have in their mind real exact sort of things that they like to do with the time and feedback, but I find that you really have to, however you move around the feedback and the feedback and the time, it changes all the time. Now the idea was with this was I've got a B octaver or boctaver down here just to add a few little overtones that are separate to the main signal that's going through here. Shimmer reverb, so you've got the riser at the end with trails on, so that further affects the little overtones, and that is affected by bubble vibrato, my friends. Let's have a look at Glitchgaze. Is that nice? What should we have a look at? Cherub. I wonder what I was going for there, eh? Nice parallel chain. Nice parallel. We'll love to see. If I do say so myself, we've got this delay off, have we? Let's just try it on. We've got them all on now. Let's just have a little look if that makes much difference. A little bit, eh? Obviously, I was listening to a lot of grunge at the time. Reverb after the amp, lovely stuff. Ganymede, you know it's a nice reverb. What we got? The Jazz Rivet again. I don't think Billy Corgan was using that, was he? Back in the time, but look, I never try to emulate anyone's tone exactly, and I never look up what people are using. I do kind of want a heavy metal pedal just because Belinda Butcher used one. Classic Scream 808 going into a big horn fuzz. Kind of a muff style fuzz there. Let's see what happens if we turn that off. All right, let's see what happens there. Accidentally stopped the recording there. I'm not used to doing this. What am I saying? But yeah, usually I have it set up so when I initially go in, it's got that it starts playing too loud, and I have to go in and sort things out. I think personally that this could do with taking away the cab. That frees us some space up. So if we wanted to put anything else in here, a modulation or something, we could. It also gives us the option of more amps and cabs because we're using less thinking power from the little unit down here. What about if we to use one of these? I tell you what, this will be horrible if we put this on. Panama, that's 5150. Let's have a look. Moon Jump. I bet you can guess what that is. Bit of a sun amp emulation here. I reckon this will be quite nice. I was right. I think that is quite nice, actually. I won't save it though because I'll get annoyed at myself later. Yamaha Doctor Who is something that I was using with a keyboard. You can run a synth and a keyboard through this. It's a lovely unit, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Funeral Doomgaze. I like a little bit of Funeral Doom. I like a bit of Doomgaze, but I'm not really sure if what I call Doomgaze is really Doomgaze. Who knows? Oh, neck. Let's have a look at this. Like those open notes, we like them. Putting the Jaguar onto the rhythm circuit a little bit there. You get the that's the rhythm circuit. That's the lead. Lovely stuff. And we'll mute it here. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, what amp is it? I'm not going to guess. I'm not even going to guess. Oh, we've got a moon. Or a sun, if you want to talk about that. Look at that little strangely angled mic here. We can move the position of the mic. We can change that mic. Which you know, you can have a lot of fun with, as you can see. Let's have a look through what we've got here. Let's see if I'm using Scream, the Ibanez. Just not very much gain on there. Using it how you classically set up a screamer. Big horn fuzz. I've got my favourites, you know, ladies and gentlemen. A muff type fuzz, if you can remember that was. I've got the retro reel. I don't use this as much as I usually do. I always forget that this also modulates things. Let's put loads of modulation on and see what that does. Let's turn everything else off. Right. Tape speed. Turn that. Texture. Let's put a load of texture on it. Oof, that is beautiful. Sorry. I've got the retro reel. The bubble vibrato. Beautiful, isn't it? Now I didn't have this on. Just a simple delay. Ganymede reverb, you know, all of it. Let's put it all the way up. Let's put the mix all the way up there. Now, obviously, as I say, let's have a look how much difference moving things around makes. And you can really experiment with this. Actually really like that. Let's save it. So we go to save preset as, because we don't want to be writing over anything. We come to one of these free blocks here, Heartbreaker. The presets that come with the HX Stomp are terrible. Don't use them. Are you sure you want to overwrite it? You right, I want to overwrite it. Let's rename it now. See, it won't let you rename it sometimes. It reminds me of being in a big church. Churchgazer, because everything has gazer after its name. Let's just quickly go through a few. Okay, I'll turn off my microphone and we'll go through a few presets that I do. Some of them will be specifically for shoegaze, some of them might not be. Quickly show you what that is, and we'll end it. And thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. Hey, like and subscribe. Let me know. Look, I know that I don't make these the most exciting. Look, it's just not my personality to do that, right? I don't clap my hands and shout. Maybe one day I'll just gradually build up to that, but you can tell me that, but it's not going to make a difference. Okay, that I should be doing more of that. But we've got the non-linear, the optical trem, the chorus. I think I've showed you this one, but it's slightly different settings maybe. Alpaca Rouge, yeah, Ganymede going into the jazz. The clean version, as I showed before. Guys, like and subscribe, share it around. Let me know what you'd like to see. If you've got any questions about the setup here, do ask. It's a small channel, I'll get back to you. Of course I will. I'll tell you what, take it easy, my friends.